Well, it took 31 hours for our scrambled eggs to get done in the freeze dryer. So I'm going to show you what they look like. They look pretty good. This was eggs from our homestead, from our hens. They free range. There's no chemicals in our eggs. They're beautiful. And we took I took a bunch of eggs that I had, and I did 40 eggs, 40. And I did them in a scrambled consistency, and then we put them on the freeze dryer. And I just wanted to show you how we're going to preserve them now. These will be great for, for scrambled eggs. And just look at I have 3 trays, and I tested them, made sure that they were all well dry. That's why they're broke up. But you can put them in your jar or Mylar bag for long-term storage. You can put them in chunks if you want, and then crush them. I think I'm just going to go ahead and crush them, and then I'll show you how we're going to, we're just going to store them. So, but check out the consistency. They are all dry and light. Check that out. And so we're just going to break them up, and then we're going to put them in the jar, and then we can have scrambled eggs. And whenever we need them, when eggs aren't abundant, especially during molting season or in the winter time. Molting season, chickens do not, when they molt or shed their feathers, they will not lay for a couple months. So you need to think ahead as far as, that. And in the winter time, they don't lay as much. So you want to try to stock up as much as you can during the peak seasons of when your hens are laying the most. And then you won't have to worry about going to the store and paying $8 or better for a dozen eggs, which is ridiculous. So this is what we did. And I'm going to do this first tray with you because I got 2 more trays to do. But I am just going to, now you could take your little bullet or your little blender and blend this up into the powder. But I think just by crushing them, you really won't need your blender because they're so light and fluffy. And they're actually really just doing such a great job of powdering up. Now, in order to reconstitute your powdered eggs, you would take like your 2 tablespoons of your powder, do 2 tablespoons at a time, and add 1 tablespoon of water. You don't want them real watery, so you want your egg to reconstitute back to like a scrambled egg consistency when you would normally take a fresh egg and scramble it up. So the less water, the better. So start with 2 tablespoons of egg powder, and then add in a tablespoon of warm water and work it from there. And then when you get the consistency in your bowl for your scrambled egg, then you would just scramble and stir and then just cook it as you would normally. And it will come just as fluffy as if you went out to the hen house and grabbed an egg. And the Harvest Right Freeze Dryer does a beautiful job. This is my first batch of eggs. And I am so excited. I'm going to put some in, depending on how much I get in a jar. I will put some in a jar, the mason jar, and some in the Mylar bags, and seal them tight. And put the date on there, that they're fresh, you know, raw hens, laid, fresh eggs, scrambled eggs, whatever you want to put on there so you know what they are. And then you'll be able to use them when you're ready. Now just look at this beautiful texture. I'm just sitting here just barely, you know, crushing these eggs into a powder. I'm not using my my bullet or getting my blender out to crush them, because literally they're a beautiful golden color, because our hens, free range, they eat lots of good worms, bugs, veggies, herbs, and we feed them no chemicals, and we have the best farm eggs. So here we go. Here's one tray of our scrambled egg powder. Look at that. Beautiful. And now I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do this first tray, because I got 2 more to do. We'll see if we get a full jar. I'm going to take my mason jar and my funnel. I have a lid, and I've already dated it, and I put scrambled egg powder. And then I have my sealer, and I'm going to seal my jar tight. And that's how we're going to do it today. But I think I'm going to use a little measuring cup to help spoon that in, so I don't make such a big mess. But yeah, you can crush these as fine as you like. They will stay. And every time that you use your jar, you will need to reseal your jar every time you take some out. So let's get busy preserving our farm fresh eggs into our mason jar for long-term storage. What a beautiful way to save your eggs. Now, there's other ways you can. Last year, I did my eggs in a pickling lime solution, and that did work. Okay, so if you don't have a freeze dryer, you can preserve your fresh. They have to be fresh, right from the hen house, and they have to be clean. You can preserve eggs in a pickling lime solution as long as they are fresh. You cannot use store-bought eggs in a pickling lime solution. They have to be fresh farm eggs, and they have to be clean. You cannot wash the eggs and then put them in a pickling solution, because that takes off the bloom. So they have to be fresh, clean farm eggs. Check this out. And then you can do it that way, or you can do this method, which is freeze-dried scrambled eggs powdered. And then you will at least have, no, you're not going to have eggs over easy, but when there are no eggs and you don't want to spend, and you're on a budget, and you don't want to spend anywhere between $7 and $8 for a dozen eggs of organic eggs, this is a great way to preserve your eggs. check this out. I got 1 quart of eggs, egg powder. Look at that. There we go. Look at that. It could use a little more, but I'm just going to show you how I seal my jar. And I may add a few more to finish filling it. Probably right to the brim, leave a little air space. But you'll get the meaning. And make sure you always seal your jar each time. And remember, you're going to use 2 tablespoons of egg powder to 1 tablespoon of water in your bowl to get it reconstituted. And add a little bit more if you need to. Don't over adding the water. You just want your eggs to reconstitute back to the consistency of a normal scrambled egg. Always use less first. But this is a beautiful jar of our powdered eggs scrambled from our hens. What a beautiful way to preserve your eggs. All right, so we're going to take our lid, not our ring yet. We're going to put our lid. I will be taking this back off, but this is just for the video purpose. So you're just going to take your lid, and whatever sealer that you use, whether you use this type or the vacuum sealer one, you can use that also from your vacuum sealer. But this one is the one that I have. I have both. And this one's very handy to use and very quick if you're in a, hurry. So we're going to turn that on to make sure that it gets a good proper seal. Okay, for like, a few, 30 seconds or more, whatever you think. And then to pop this off. And your lid should be nice and flat. And it is. And look, date and scrambled egg powder. Look at that. Woo, you are now freshly. And then you can put your ring on. And then they can go on your pantry shelf. Keep them out of the heat, out of direct sun. Cool, dry place like your cabinet or your pantry will be fine. And there you go. But I'm going to go ahead and reopen this so I can finish filling. And then I'll reseal. Okay, well, I hope you learned something today. And I hope you're inspired by trying out freeze-dried. And it can be a wonderful way to store and preserve long term. These will last for a couple years in the jars. As long as you keep sealing them, they'll last up to 20 years. Or you can use Mylar bags, whatever one you decide to use. But the main thing is to keep it sealed tightly when you're not using it. Woo! How about that? Did you hear that big seal? Whew. All that air. That was wonderful. That's what you want. Okay, well, we're going to get busy doing and finish filling up our jar. Let me know if you liked our video. And we'll see you next time on the Homestead. God bless. Take care.